Welcome to ABC Interactive English. My name is Winnie.
And my name is Matt.
So today we're going to look at A Service of Love Part 3, where we ended on a cliffhanger last time.
Right, but first let's bring it all the way back to Part 1, where we began in New York City, where our main characters, Joe and Delia, met in an art and music center.
Right.
And then we learned that Joe was studying to be a painter and Delia wanted to be a musician.
Yes, so they both fell in love in a city that really represents a lot of different types of art. Yeah, because they're both artists. Yes.
So they fell in love and got married. And after that, they moved into a small apartment together and they were happy because they had their art and they had each other.
Until they ran out of money.
That's right. Everyone needs money. You can't just have art and each other.
Yeah, and New York is expensive. Yeah.
So they began to lack money for their studies. So Delia said she would get a job.
Yes. Pretend I'm Delia. I'm going to go get a job and teach someone how to play the piano. So she finds a student.
Yep, she found a job and that job would pay her $15 to teach a student 3 times a week.
Not just any student.
It was a general's daughter.
Yeah, for $15, that's not bad. But then her husband, he has a problem with this.
So he wasn't happy with Delia having a job and he said, maybe I'll get a job and give up my studies. But Delia said, you can't do that. You need to continue making your art and studying.
Yeah.
But Joe did come home with some money because he sold a painting.
$18. $3 more than her.
That's right. And where we last left off, we just found out that Delia had hurt her hand. And now we don't know how she will continue to make money.
Yes, so we're really excited to continue on with this lesson right after the article.
Delia said her student spilled hot food on it. So the general sent somebody to get oil and bandages. Joe checked the bandages, then he asked for the truth. Delia broke down and said she ironed shirts at a laundry. A girl there put a hot iron on her hand. Then Joe confessed. He worked in the laundry's basement.
Welcome back. We are going to be looking at part 3 of our story called A Service of Love. So right before we came back, we just learned that Delia had hurt her hand.
Ouch. Yeah, so I would assume that is very bad news for her considering she needs her hands to work. She is a piano player after all. So continuing on, Delia said her student spilled hot food on it. Ouch. So the general sent somebody to get oil and bandages. Okay, oil and bandages. So they thought that using oil would kind of remedy or heal the wound.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have thought, if I hurt myself, I don't, go to the kitchen and get some cooking oil and...
That wouldn't be our first, option.
No, but I guess at that time, because oil it doesn't grow bacteria or bad things easily, it could have been used to have some protection from getting infected.
Yeah, that's what they thought. But obviously in these days, we probably wouldn't do that. And so she goes and looks for bandages, right? And a bandage is a noun, and it means a strip of fabric or gauze to cover a wound, okay? So bandages can be used for all sorts of types of wounds, or you could even bandage something to prevent getting hurt, okay? So if you have kind of weak joints, maybe sometimes people would use a bandage to wrap it, to prevent yourself from getting injured.
So Joe checked the bandages. Then he asked for the truth.
What?
Okay, so Joe has obviously seen something about her injury that makes him believe that Delia is not telling him the truth.
Right, he suspects something. Yeah, okay, so Delia broke down and said she ironed shirts at a laundry. A girl there put a hot iron on her hand. Ouch!
Ouch.
Have you ever done that?
I've not, have I ever put an iron on my hand? No.
By accident, maybe?
Yeah, I've burned myself on an iron.
Oof.
But not like that. More maybe just touching.
I would hope not. But yeah, my sister actually has a scar from when she was a kid using a hot iron. Ouch. Ugh.
Yeah, so I think probably what Joe has seen is a kind of burn that would not have come from food but might have been something that came from an iron.
Right, and so obviously he knows the shape of it because an iron probably has a very distinct shape to it. And so he knows, okay, she is not being truthful.
Okay, so an iron, you may have heard of Iron Man, but we're not talking about him. But he is made of a material, a kind of metal called iron. And another thing that was once made of that kind of metal is an iron. So an iron is now an appliance that many people have in their homes that is heated and used to make clothes or sheets or anything made of cloth flat and without wrinkles.
Right, and they kind of look like a triangle kind of on the top.
Yeah, so we can use this as both a verb and a noun. It is an iron, but when you use it, you are ironing. And it's one of the things you need to do after you do the laundry.
Interesting, right. And so what is laundry? Okay, so laundry is a noun, okay? It means, clothes or linen that needs to be washed, okay? So like bed sheets, pillowcases, towels, those types of things. Obviously, when we, wear clothes, we sweat, or maybe we fall down on the dirt and we need to wash those clothes, okay? So that is what laundry is.
And as she mentioned, she was working in a laundry. And a laundry would be a place that washes maybe clothes or maybe, sheets and bedding for like a hotel would have a laundry as well.
Right, and they also dry it there and iron stuff, yeah.
Then Joe confessed. He worked in the laundry's basement.
I mean, there's not a lot of truth-telling in this relationship. Yeah. Okay, so what does it mean to confess? To confess, it is a verb, right? And it means to admit or state that one has lied or made a mistake, okay? So usually, for example, maybe a son confesses to a mother that, yep, it was me who threw the basketball indoors and broke the vase, okay? So they are kind of, Joe and Delia are coming clean. They're confessing that they both lied.
So Joe just confessed that he works in the laundry's basement. So a basement is the floor of a building that is entirely below the ground.
Underground.
Underground, that's right. So you might see on an elevator, it might have B or B1, B1 being the first basement floor, the first floor that is below ground.
Wow, this is a very interesting turn of events for this couple.
We've had some shocking reveals, some shocking confessions. So I wonder how they're going to react to these confessions, but we're going to find out after the break.
He sent the oil and bandages upstairs for a hurt worker. The couple laughed, and Joe began,
"When one loves one's art."
However, Delia stopped him and said, "Just when one loves."
welcome back from the break. So, Matt, what has been happening so far?
Well, before the break, both Joe and Delia have confessed. Delia has confessed that she works in a laundry and she had her hand burned with an iron while working there. And in turn, Joe has confessed that he also works in a laundry in the basement.
Right, so they both got caught lying about working at a laundry, okay? So this is not good. But continuing on, he sent the oil and bandages upstairs for a hurt worker.
Okay, so it was actually him who sent Delia the oil and bandages.
Right, so now we know they're working at the same place.
Right, I'm surprised they didn't see each other going in or out or on their lunch breaks.
Right, yeah, exactly. Okay, so going back, we see the word upstairs, right? And that is an adverb. And it means on an upper floor or the floor above. Okay, so Joe works in the basement, so that's below, and Delia works above. Yeah, it's kind of weird that they didn't see each other.
Right, so actually we could say that she works upstairs and he works downstairs. So meaning the lower floor. So continuing with our story, the couple laughed and Joe began, when one loves one's art. However, Delia stopped him and said, just when one loves.
Yes, so she's actually said something before.
He was repeating what she said to him, which was, when one loves one's art, no service seems too hard. So she's now changed her mind on that.
Yeah.
It's not just about the art, it's just about love. When one loves. Okay, and before Joe started to repeat her expression, they laughed.
Yes, because this is a very funny circumstance.
It's funny to find out that they both work in the same place.
Yeah.
So they laughed, and to laugh is to make a sound when you find something funny usually. So they go, ha 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 ha. That's a good laugh, right?
Sure.
So when I tell you a funny joke, you're probably always laughing.
Okay, Matt, okay.
Winnie always laughs at my jokes.
Yes, out of politeness. But anyway, we know that at the end of the day, they both love each other, right? All of this craziness is a result of them just wanting to show that they love each other. They're willing to do whatever it takes to make money so that the other person can just enjoy life. But who would have thought that all of this craziness, they actually just ended up working at the same place?
So when one loves, no service seems too hard. That's the lesson of this story, so you can go out and do something for your love, whether that love be your work or your studies or your family or your friends or your partner.
There's a lot of different types of loves, but that's all we have for today. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Delia said her students spilled hot food on it. So, the general sent somebody to get oil and bandages. Joe checked the bandages. Then he asked for the truth. Delia broke down and said she ironed shirts at a laundry. A girl there put a hot iron on her hand. Then Joe confessed. He worked in the laundry's basement. He sent the oil and bandages upstairs for a hurt worker. The couple laughed, and Joe began,
when one loves one's art.
However, Delia stopped him and said, just when one loves.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 iron， 动词熨烫，也可以当名词使用，指的是熨斗。我们先来看看动词的例句。Anna irons her husband's shirts every day. Anna 每天为她的丈夫烫衬衫。我们再来看看名词的例句。I bought a steam iron for my mother. 我为妈妈买了一台蒸汽熨斗。下一个单字 basement， basement 名词，地下室。Sue's office is in the basement. Sue 的办公室在地下室。下一个单字 upstairs. Upstairs 副词，在楼上，往楼上。The girl ran upstairs to her room. 这个女孩跑上楼去她的房间。最后一个单字 laugh. 动词，笑。No one laughed at my joke. 我的笑话没人笑。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 spill A on B， 把 A 泼洒到 B 上面去。Spill 指的是使洒出的意思。我们来看看这个例句。The kid spilled milk on the table. 这个孩子把牛奶洒到桌上了。下一个文法，我们来整理 send 的用法。第一个用法 send somebody to 加动词，指派某人去做某件事。我们来看看这个例句。Bonnie sent her husband to buy dinner. Bonnie 派她的丈夫去买晚餐。第二个用法 send something for somebody， 指的是为某人运送某个东西。我们来看看这个例句。We sent books to the school for students to read. 我们把书送到学校，供学生阅读使用。最后一个文法 break down 指的是情绪崩溃，这是一个不可以分开的动词片语。break 的三态是 break, broke, broken。我们来看看这个例句。Lydia broke down and started to cry. Lydia 情绪崩溃，开始哭泣。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，回去记得复习哦。我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hello everybody and welcome! Today we are looking at the Eco-Friendly National Kaohsiung Center for the Arts. In Chinese, that's the LIVEABC. And we see that it's eco-friendly. Now, what does that mean? So, eco-friendly, we have two different words. So, eco is like the ecosystem or ecology, which means we are talking about the environment. And we have another word, friendly, which means that we are being good to the environment. So when we put these two words together, we say that it is eco-friendly. We know that this is good for the environment. So let's take a look. The National Kaohsiung Center for the Arts, or the Chinese LIVEABC, is the world's largest performing arts center under one roof. It's also a green building. Even the roof can collect rainwater to water the plants. There's also skylights, which allow natural light down into the indoor and outdoor spaces. The Banyan Plaza's open structure allows wind to blow through the center. These features are an amazing way to save energy. Okay, so if you are going to go to the National Kaohsiung Center for the Arts, it's not an actual green building. The color is not green. It just means that it is an environmentally friendly building. So we'll see you there.